What's going on, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to On the Bench with Pete, the series that you put on in the background as you hobby or paint along with me. Yes, let's get some hobby stuff done together as we rid our worlds of unpainted models and miniatures. And I've got that Manticore, if you remember. If you've seen any of my like Twitter posts or Instagram posts, you'll also notice I've got some Dark Angels that I'm tarting up a bit because they were kind of like some of the first models I painted, amongst the first models I painted. So I'm just kind of making them a little bit better here and there, and I've got other stuff to do as well. I've got my Centurions still, so let's just grab your stuff, your models, your paints, your glues, whatever you need, and let's just get to the bench, shall we? And here we are on the bench. Haha, my Manticore is here. And I can't believe it's been like a week since I last worked on it. A little bit of an impasse as to what to do. I want to do the like the orb thing that he's carrying in his tail here. I am going to do that in metallic, like lead belcher, and then apply one of those gemstone effect colour things, or I might even do blood for the blood god. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But the main thing is that I'm going to be doing it that way. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. I got momentarily distracted then. Let's see here. Got Centurions. I've still got my Skitari, which I may even venture into back on, and I've got my Death Guard here, which kind of, well, some of them are newish, which were kind of started painting, and some I can't believe like I would have called them finished before. Perhaps it was a bit too much work for me. I don't know. Anyway. What to start on? I think we'll start with his orb. That's what we'll start with. So the Manticore's orb here, and that's what we're gonna do. I feel good. It's my day off. Okay, it's yeah. I've had a week off, haven't I? And I've been back to work for like 2 days, and it's my weekend. My weekend happens midweek, so that is kind of the beauty of my shift pattern, I suppose. Let's put some lead belcher on my palette and a drop of thinners. We'll mix that in, and then wash that out because I don't like leaving brushes in pots of water. It just doesn't sit well with me. And right, detail. So detail brush. I've actually bought new brushes, and but this isn't them. I'm one of these people that like to use a brush until it's absolutely can't be used in, whatever capacity anymore. And then maybe I'll use it for like a dry brush or a mixing brush. Mixing brushes is what I tend to go for more often than not. Now this Manticore, as you know, is what I use for my D&D, or what I will be using for my D&D. Manticore is a great creature. I'd like to stick one in a dungeon of my creation at some point. Oh, talking about my creation, this is yes, it's insane. I played a one-shot of Call of Cthulhu with my group the other day. Was it the end of last week? And it was based on a dream I had. It's amazing. Now, I'll tell you what it was, and if any of you are out there into Call of Cthulhu, please feel free to use my ideas for your own homebrew game. Now, I had this dream, and now obviously the game didn't follow the dream exactly, but quite close. My dream involved, it was actually myself and a group of others running through a warehouse, like an abandoned warehouse, and we come out into this like alleyway, street, whatever, and down one side is a narrow lane going downhill, and the other way is a narrow lane going uphill, very steep, up towards like cliffs. And in front is a building with double doors. Incredibly foggy, very foggy, creepy. It's night time. It's raining. There's a rumble of thunder, and what do we do? This is just like a scene in the game I had, but now my game involved what did they roll up? A parapsychologist, a professor, an author. Oh, and of course, what started it all was the private investigator. I mean, professor is kind of, you've always got a professor in there somewhere. But private investigator, that's how it started. Now, this was, as you know, the classic Cthulhu is set in the 1920s. So, America. Anyway. Now, the private investigator, his business is not doing that well. In fact, he hasn't had a client in, weeks and weeks, possibly months. And his landlords are kind of, knocking at his doors, are like, when you're going to pay some rent, because else we'll send the boys around, kind of thing. He's kind of desperate, but then he gets this job to find a missing person. And in my dream, it was based in a country kind of like cross between Prague and Transylvania. Anyway, so we went over to like Romania and that, and on the boat from like the docks from there to this like island, like mainland, there's a guy saying, oh, there's when you get there, you go through this place, which I was going to put with this warehouse, and you need to stay at this inn called, and I called it the Blunderbuss, for reasons I'll go into later. He said, and they do the most amazing. Now, this is the bit where I'm thinking, it's probably not correct, but historically correct, probably not. I said, they do the most amazing crumpets there. Now, I don't even know if they had them in the 1920s. I've no idea. But, right, okay, yeah, so, anyway, we get there. And you can barely see up in the distance. There's like a light, it's very small, but there's a powerful light coming from there. Even though it's foggy, you can see this light. It's really difficult to judge how far away it is. But anyway, the rain's coming, the thunder's happening, the lightning's happening, and they decide to go into this building right in front of them to get out of the rain. Not sure where the left-hand lane goes. I'm leaving loads of stuff out, but never mind that. And it's like a reception desk, and it looks kind of like a hospital almost, but it's a bit weird. I mean, like everyone's weird and they act strange and all that. It's Cthulhu. Anyway, cut a long story short, this is a mental hospital. It's an asylum where people go where they think, or they take people that they think are suffering from mental health issues, and to quickly leg it out of there for other reasons, because some strange stuff happened. We're not playing the game here, so I'm just giving you the brief highlights. They start legging it up the hill. We got flashlights and that, or that they had, I should say. And it becomes apparent, or quite early on, as the rain's hammering down. Oh, and there's wooded areas, by the way. Going up this hill, it's like forest, like either side. This little track. It becomes apparent they're being followed by someone or something. Who knows, right? I mean, I know, but They did stop to try and have a quick look, although the fog, it was impossible to see anything. So best decision with them was that we're gonna carry on to the inn, if that is indeed what it is. Judging by our brief directions, that is what it is. Anyway, eventually they get there, and it is indeed the inn, called the Blunderbuss, and they go in, and it's got like a window that overlooks the cliff. There's like cliffs either side, but there's a narrow walkway that goes around. In front is where the deliveries go to put the barrels and their food and whatever else. They go around, the entrance is around the side, and they go in, and it's a strange atmosphere, but it's quite welcoming, I suppose. There's a fire going. It's a welcome shelter from the storm, which is by now is starting to really rage. They get a table. They're looking out over the window to try and see if there's any sign of whatever it is following them is going to get to the inn. And they're talking about, anybody got any weapons? We might need something. The parapsychologist, who happens to be female, had a Derringer, which is like a little tiny gun thing that fires 2 shots. Other than that, no one's got anything. They're talking about, what about that on the wall? And it is literally on the wall. There is a blunderbuss, and they wonder if it's a working blunderbuss or it's just for show. But yeah, to cut a long story short, they end up staying there the night. Without incident, but there was an incident that they thought was going to be threatening, but it turned out to be quite innocent. But anyway, they stay the night. They go back down the hill in the morning when it's the storm's passed and the fog's a bit clearer. It's still there, it's lingering, but apparently it's always foggy to some extent there. And they hear tales of there's some creature that's terrorizing the village down the bottom of the hill, which is where that leads. They get back to the asylum, and it's all boarded up. It's been long abandoned, and they're like, "What the heck happened?" No, it was there. There's people in there. It was, the lights were on, and everything. But it's all boarded up. Look through like a broken window. It's all like old and decaying and. Long abandoned, obviously long abandoned. So they're like, that's weird. Why did we see that and experience that? So they go back to they go to the village down below. There's a library there, and the professor and the author actually does some research. How it all started was the private investigator wanted to do this job to find this missing person, and they all know each other, by the way. So he contacted the professor, who in turn contacted the parapsychologist, because it was well known to be a bit creepy there. He thought he might like it. Who in turn contacted the author, who thought might want a good story, and he was like, "Yeah, that's why they're all there." Anyway, do a bit of research, asking around. Turns out that the asylum was abandoned due to experimentations on patients. And to cut a really long story short, it turns out that it's not abandoned, that's just a facade. And in the ground, outside and around it, there's trigger pressure points, which triggers hallucinogenic gas to be released into the air, causing hallucinations, which is why the group thought it was an open facility. And with the fog and that, it gets hidden. You can't tell, but that is what it was. And the thing that is terrorizing the village turns out to be the missing person, of course, who escaped and whatever else. And there's other reasons as to why that missing person actually went there in the first place, which we're hoping is going to be another story. Maybe do a little bit of a campaign with it, because I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed running it, and it was really, really good fun. So yeah, I realised that the last quarter of an hour probably made no sense at all, and so I'll end that now. But if there's anything in there that you want to use, please feel free. Be my guest. I drew out maps for it and everything. It's had good fun there with that. Right, so bit of Mephiston red. Mephiston red. I'm gonna be looking for purity seals and maybe do the eye lenses on the Terminator armor. 1, 2, I think that'll be enough. Do a couple drops of retarder. So now, definitely need my detail brush for this. What I like about these bases is you can hold them quite easily and work on whatever it is you're working on. These larger bases. Went a bit wrong on that one, but we'll try the other one instead. He's got like 2 purity seals, one either side. And of course he's got one at the front as well, which is... he's got several actually, he's got a few here. Oh, he's well decorated, this dude. In fact, I might do a blue wax purity seal as well for his other one. Simply because I think it looks cool. I don't know what they mean. You make up any meaning, can't you? Any meaning you want, I suppose. So work was okay last night. Plinth change, which I don't like, but it wasn't too bad. I don't like it because people run around like headless chickens, trying to be all super efficient, when everybody knows they're not normally. I'm not saying people are lazy, but certain people are lazy. Has to be said, they are lazy. I might do his eyes green, actually. Green lenses, yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be super cool. Alright, anyway. More purity seals. Went a bit wrong on this one. Normally I'm not too bad at doing purity seals, but I'm messing these up. I don't think my hands are shaking, but I don't feel any more tired than I usually do, which is, it's hard to tell, I admit, but because I'm always tired. But to be that extra bit tired is sometimes you can tell, but I don't think so. Got a purity seal on there. I might make that different. I'm not sure. Yeah. Some of the ones that are supposedly already done. all very well tarting them up, but dude. I go back to some of the models that I did, and I know I was proud of when I did them, and I look at them and think, blimey, is that the best I could have done? Better than that, yeah. Fiston red is a great colour. I think it's my favourite red, though. To be fair, I think Fiston red is my absolute favourite. Yeah. He's got ones he's missed here. There we are. No way, I just looked at the time. 24 minutes already? Are you kidding me? Wow. I guess not. It's been an alright day off, though. I've been to the post office today. I've sent back a parcel for my wife that she had to return. So that's been done. I got some electric. I got some stuff in for our tea, which I'm cool with. Yeah. Yeah, but this detail brush here, wow. I think this detail brush might have had it. So put it over onto there. I've got too many brushes out, I know. I've got my hobby small detail brush here, which I may draw upon. And yeah. Looking at the Manticore. Yeah, it still looks still looks fine to me. Right. I want some blue. What sort of blue do I want? Come on now. I want my crag blue. Where are you? Crag blue. There it is. Oh, it's already out. Look at that. Look. My crag blue. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Because this is I'm going to put some of this on my Centurions as well. Yep. Yeah, I want a bit of retarder. Boom. So, while I remember, let me know what you're working on, folks, and that'll be good. Yeah, sorry about that little story about the dream I had and how it became a Call of Cthulhu one-shot game. Yes, apologies for that. It was just something. It was like one of those dreams. You know, when you get those dreams that just stay with you, no matter what. You know, you just can't shake them off. And yeah, it's like that. Well, it was that. It was exactly that. Yeah. So he's ready for his eye lenses to be done. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so this Death Guard fellow is having a blue wax purity seal. I'll give him a green one as well at some point in a moment, but yeah. Weather has taken a change, for the worse. So that's not so good. It's more like winter today. It's been like that for a few days. A bit stormy, rainy, windy, certainly. Very, very windy. My daughter's away at like adventure camp thing for young people, but this time she's gone in the capacity of like a helper. I don't know what they call them, like marshals or something. No, I can't think now. But she used to go, as a child, going for the activities. And they do all sorts of like, canoeing to abseiling, rock climbing, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, this time she's I don't know, one of the people that helped run it. You know what I mean. She's old enough. She's too old to be a participant. So, but she loves being around it. So that's why she's gone back. Ooh, look at that. There's an awful lot on here that needs doing. It's incredible, really. But I love doing this. This is my day off. I'm having a good day. A chilled day, and I'll have another one tomorrow. Yeah, I'll have another one tomorrow, and I'll be able to do some more footage for different things. I like to get these on the benches done. These are my favourite ones to do nowadays, because I just love doing it. As simple as that. See why I've not painted all this, I do not know. But that's okay. My only guess is I needed to paint them up as quick as I can, because I remember my wife saying when I got them, Dark Vengeance box set was what it was from. She said, I'm not playing. We tried playing. So I'm not playing it until you paint them up, because I don't know who's who. It's just all grey, and that's not working for me. Which is fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. If you're, wanting someone to play with you, at least you do is paint your miniatures up so that to help them differentiate which side is which. I think that's fair enough. Absolutely. Right, the Centurions. I think I could probably use this brush now. I think we can do a bit of tidy up work in here now. See, some people don't like Centurions. I've heard it said. I love them. I think they're amazing models. They're like human tanks, like the next best thing to being a dreadnought without actually being a dreadnought. I think they're amazing. So yeah, get these guys looking a bit better. That'll make me feel happier. I might have to have a cup of coffee and after I'm done with this video, I'm gonna have to go and grab myself a cup of coffee because I just fancy it. I went to work last night and there was no coffee left. Yeah, I could buy it from the machine, but they normally give you free coffee that you can just use. I mean, the machines are really for the drivers that come in, the delivery drivers. There was no milk either, so even if I had tea, but they had like a lemon and ginger teas there, so I had one of those. I was a bit unsatisfied because I was hoping to have a normal cup of tea, which is what I wanted. But yeah. Yeah. Craig Blue, you gotta love it. The one-shot game I played with my group of Call of Cthulhu, and they took a little convincing to do it because they prefer D&D. Well, most of them prefer D&D. There's one of them that actually prefers Call of Cthulhu, but the others prefer D&D, and that's fair enough, whatever. The others are kind of, it depends, what mood they're in, I think. But see, I don't prefer or not any game. It's the same with me. I just depends how I'm feeling. If I fancy playing Call of Cthulhu, I'd like to do that. But of course, the problem is not everybody feels like it at the same time. Now, I've got two options here, really. Or three, actually. One, find a different group, like as well as the one I've got, in order to facilitate my other gaming desires, and I'm quite happy to run the games, see. Or I can go online and join one of the online groups and do it that way, whenever I feel like it, depending on what game it is. Well, I suppose I could join there is a club, or at least there was in Plymouth. It's I think it's still going. I do role playing. No, I don't really want to do that. I'm happy just having the one group because it's quite a lot of work with one group. It really is. Coordinating everybody's times and when they can play, and it's not like it was when we were kids. All we had was school to worry about, and that was it. Boom, we could play every night pretty much. God, I miss those days. But now it's different. Anyway, I've seen recently on YouTube several several videos about solo RPGs. Now, I don't for one moment think that would be as good as the social interaction you get with other people, but it does give you, I think, a feel for whatever game it is you're playing, and can kind of scratch a certain itch, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, alright, so your group's playing, say, D&D, but you want to play Call of Cthulhu. If there was a way of playing it solo. Now, I've tried the solo modules, and that's fine, and they're quite good. They're fun, but essentially they're just like Final Fantasy books, really. But I've recently been looking at there are certain mechanics that you can employ and use in order to facilitate randomized questions in games and create a bit of randoms, like surprise elements in a game you're playing. And I kind of like that idea. So I've ordered a book on it to see if there's anything in it. See, that's the thing with me. If I think there's something in something, I'll research it. And this is what I'm doing. I'm researching it. So I'm currently researching solo RPGing. Not as a replacement for conventional RPGing. I state straight away, because there's no way you could replace that. It's just that, as much as I love D&D, and I really do love it, I'm liking the Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu really calls to me. I've also recently purchased the Basic Fantasy RPG game system, which is basically like old school D&D. How I remember it when I was a kid, pretty much. There are some slight differences, but it is essentially old D&D. And I'd like to play that as well, but I don't know if they'll be up for that, because they're like very much 5th edition D&D, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I can't. I'd be forever like suggesting new games, and they get into it, and then they'd be getting annoyed about it. Like, oh, come on, dude. Last week you wanted us to play Cyberpunk. This week you want us to play Call of Cthulhu. I'm. It's hard to get invested in a game when you chop and change your loyalties so frequently, and I can quite understand that perfectly well, which is why the solo RPG mechanic thing is appealing. If there's any way at all it can be done, I'd like to at least look into it. So that's something possibly for the future. That, and you haven't got to worry about anybody's opinions, or you haven't got to organise, coordinate, like, are you working, when are you off, blah blah blah, because everybody works different, and they work different shifts, different patterns, different days. It's a nightmare, I'll be frank. Trying to organise a game of any role-playing game, or any game to meet up, is a nightmare, to be frank. And I think this would give me a way of at least running through game mechanics and scratching an itch that would keep me appeased until such time as we can all get together. And I think that would be great. Now, next week I've got my friend coming over, who is actually one of the group. He's going to be coming over with the Fallout game. You remember I was talking about that? I still haven't got mine yet, but he's going to bring his over. I heavily suspect he's going to want me to paint his copy of the game. And I shall say, dude, that's a big ask. That really is a big ask. Yes, we'll say that's a big ask, my friend. Because there'll be a lot of time invested to do that. So now I've got all this stuff to do from on the bench, which is actually, I want to get my Ultramarines army a bit more battle ready as well. I want to sort them out. So I'm going to be getting all my armies out, placing them on the table just to see where I'm at and what I need to do, and you know what's next, kind of thing. So all that. Yeah. Right, that's him. Oops, sorry, nudged the camera there. Sorry about that. That wasn't too bad. Just going back to this fellow. Of course, the shoulders are the best bits to paint. Where I said Mephiston red is my favourite red, McCrag blue is my favourite blue. It's just a nice deep blue, which is not too dark, but dark enough. I like it. I like the darker colours. And I like Caliban green as well, which I always think of as British racing green. That's my favourite green. So, yeah, interesting. I hope you're all doing well out there in internet land and in your real lives as well. I know, you know, real life has a way of, really does have a way of impacting upon our hobby time. That can be frustrating. I find it frustrating at times. I appreciate you all though. As you can tell, I'm over the 2,000 subscriber mark, so sometime in the future I will be doing a giveaway for that. It's just that financially at the moment I'm a bit strapped. So I'll be doing my best. I'll see what I can do, you know, after payday, and see where I'm at, you know, if I can get something. I would like to do a giveaway though. Just be a simple give me a shout out and you can enter kind of thing. But I've done elaborate ones in the past, but yeah. Yeah, so this is just kind of buffing up the armor plating. Looking forward to getting a cup of coffee, I can tell you that much. Yeah, so I'll be doing this one. This will be for the week ahead of what, you know, of what I'm doing it now. So I'm only like 1 week ahead with these now, pretty much. So this will be out on the Wednesday. So it will be the previous Wednesday when I actually recorded this on a horrible rainy day. Yeah, Centurions. I might get some more of these. These are great. I love the Centurions. They look fantastic. Yeah, that looks good. God, there's so much work to do on these yet. Unbelievable. So yeah, this is just like, I don't know, the main kind of areas. Yeah, I like these models. These are really good. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like. Good. Well, these dudes can go there now. Wow, I didn't even get to my Skitari. That's going to be another video, I think. 10 minutes left. What can I do in 10 minutes? What can I do in 10 minutes? Well, I can probably do that now. Yeah. What colour? Think Spirit Stone Red. Spirit Stone Red is where it's at. Now, yeah. Give that a bit of a shake. It's very rubbery, this, when it dries. These gemstone effect paints. Yeah, very rubbery. Small layer brush. So this is what I'm doing here now. Nice. That's good. That's all it needs, really. Oh, I've got a load of it on my fingers. Weird, that happens sometimes. How does that happen? I think it seeps out the corners of the pot. Yeah, it's all, you can see it when it's been running down. So that'll dry, and it'll dry like rubber. Ew. I'm still loving the palette pad from Games Workshop. I thought I'd try it. But, I mean, I know you can get them probably cheaper in art stores. You can get them in the range, I think. Bigger as well, but just trying it out. And that's good. Oh, I've got paint all over my hands. Anyway, sort of semi-dry. What stage are we at here? This is kind of where we're at the moment. This is just to show Mythos really what they look like at the moment. Long way to go, but playable. You know, play with them. But I do want to get them finished because they'll look so much better when they're finished. But a long ways to go yet. But getting there. Loads of detail in these. I can't begin to describe how much detail is in them. And you can just add to it and add to it and add to it. Yeah. But that's them. So that's the Centurions I've worked on, the Manticore, and all I've done is the little orb thing that his tail's holding. And a bit of the Death Guard here, which I'm just trying to tie up a bit and finish off, kind of get that done. And that's it, really. So, yeah, so loads more of this paint it's getting everywhere. This is getting out of hand. Come on. Come on now. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. So, that brings us to the end of another On the Bench with Pete. Hope you got loads of stuff done. I didn't get loads done, did I? But I've got stuff done. You know, one step further than I was when I started. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. Anyway, there it is. Let me know what you're working on, as I've already said, but I'm just reminding you, please like, share, subscribe. Share is a really good way of helping me, you know, get more traffic, as it were. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next paint along video, on the next video or whatever. I'll see you when I see you. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.